Hello and good morning. How's everybody doing? Happy Saturday. Thanks for joining. So today I thought I'd do something slightly different. The last times I was just using Visual Studio Code and the terminal, and I wrote my own test cases and ran my own code. I was going to go a step simpler today and just use Leetcode, Leetcode.com, and pick a problem from here. The big advantage is I don't have to make the test cases. If you run this, so if we run this now, oh, okay, this doesn't even compile, and it's the wrong language. All right, if we run this in JavaScript, it should already tell us what the input is. So this input is given to us by the website, which is kind of nice if you don't have to worry about your unit cases. Have you used any websites like LeetCom or HackerRank? Yeah, HackerRank is another one I know, Leetcode.com. But there's a few of them, and the base functionality is free. It's kind of fun to do stuff. You don't have to worry about the unit tests. So when you run it, it runs with one test case, and when you submit it, I think it should run with multiple test cases. All right. Okay. So the problem that we're doing today, oh, by the way, is my audio and everything okay? I had this joint stream with Kristen on Thursday, which was a lot of fun. If you want to know how to send ASCII text to the Google Cloud Vision API and then use ML to have the computer or the API read the ASCII text for you, that was a cool stream to watch. There's a recording. Yeah, let me know in the chat if there's issues with the audio, if the screen is half cut off. So the problem I want to do today is the number of islands. I think this is a good interview question for an internship or somebody junior, or if you do a part 2 to this problem or some other parts, this is good for a typical whiteboard interview. All right. So here's the problem. I wonder if you can read that well. Oops, wrong button. This one here. All right. Given a 2D grid map of ones and zeros, where 1 means land and 0 means water, count the number of islands. An island is surrounded by water and is formed by connecting adjacent lands horizontally or vertically. You may assume all 4 edges of the grid are surrounded by water. Okay, so we have a 2D grid, ones and zeros. Ones mean land, and we want to figure out how many islands there are. So here's an example. So there's this island that has this weird shape that's like an upside down U almost. You see that? So they're all vertically, horizontally connected. So there's one island in this map. And then in this example, there's one rectangular map in the left upper corner. Then there is one map consisting of just one land tile. And then there is another map, another island consisting of these 2 ones. So there's 3 islands on this map. Okay, does that make sense? All right. Hi, Gwenareth. Oh, you're German. Everything's good. Which part of Germany are you from? Or do you just know some German? I guess in Germany it's 5 p.m. now, so it's a pre-dinner stream. Oh, Berlin. Yeah, oh, Berlin's a lot of fun. It's a cool city. Hi, bad hombres. Yes, an island is only an island if its top, bottom, left, and right are clear. Diagonal doesn't count exactly. So that's why it says here connecting adjacent lands horizontally or vertically. So diagonally, they're not connected. So these 3 islands, even though they all touch diagonally, they're considered separate islands. I guess you could change the problem statement and solve it where you say, oh, diagonally also counts, but this one is given as only horizontal and vertically. Okay, so, and we don't need to see this at the moment. Okay. I don't know why there's the exclamation mark. Let's ignore it. Okay, so they're saying the input that we're given is the grid, and it comes as characters, I guess ones and zeros, a 2D grid. And we're supposed to return a number. And then the backend here will use the test input, run the num islands function, giving us this kind of input, and it will assume that what we return, hi Euler, how's it going? That we return the number. So we shouldn't console log the number, we have to return it for the backend here to evaluate the test correctly. Okay, so how do we do this? So first of all, we can start with the number, and once we computed it, we want to return this number. Now, what do we need to do here? I think we have to step through the whole grid and count everything that we've seen and check the neighbors. Yep, so I think what I want to do is I want to go row by row from top to bottom. And if I find a piece of land, I will mark it as visited, and then I want to go recursively in all 4 directions. So top, bottom, left, right, I want to go recursively in all 4 directions and see if it's connected to anything, and also if it's connected to something I've already seen. Okay, yeah, let's try to do that. So I guess we need that. I'm wondering, does it matter if this is the height or the width? I guess it doesn't really matter. That's up to us. We're given a 2D thing, but let's assume it's the height and the width is grid of 0.length. And if grid.length, we have to handle this edge case here. If we're given an empty grid, then there's no islands on it, so we can return 0. So now we've checked that we have at least 1 row in it, so we can take the length of that row, and we have a height and a width of our grid. Okay, so now I want to step through the whole grid, I think. So for const row of grid, for const character of row. So now we're going through every character. Let me just think here if the naming makes sense. So I'm getting a row of the grid, which means grid.length is height. Yes, that makes sense. Now for every row, for every letter, if C is equal to 1, it's hard to tell if those characters, if they are numbers or if they are strings. Let's do it like that. If it is equal to 1, then we want to increase the number of islands. Oh, and I want to mark this one as visited, so I think I can't work with this kind of for loop. So let's do let I equal 0, I is less than height I plus plus, and for let j is equal 0, j is less than the width j plus plus, and then our character is the grid. It's the grid of ij. Those 2-day things always get me. Okay, so if we're first doing the I less than the height, yep, that should work. Now, if that character is equal to 1, we want to increase the number of visited ones, and we want to set grid of ij's equal to, how should we mark something that's visited? Let's just mark it with a plus. And I think now we need to recursively look at all the neighbors. So now we need to visit the neighbors. So now we do a visit function and we give it I minus 1, j in the grid, and so on. So we go up, down, left and right, almost. And we have to implement this visit function. Now I'm missing my VS Code shortcuts here. Maybe I should switch to VS Code just because it's a little nicer to work in a real editor. Okay, so I want to go recursively to all the neighbors and also mark them as visited. So let's write this visit function. Var visit is a function that takes a I, a j, and a grid. And we do need these numbers. We need the height and the width. So if I is less than 0 or if I is equal to the height, we can't do anything. Similarly, if j is too small or if j is too big, and if we are still within the range, then we want to say grid of I, j is visited. Oh, and now we need to visit all of those. Oh, thank you. Yeah, my function name has a typo. Thanks, Kaisi. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna write into the grid everything that I've already counted. So when I encounter this first one here, I will recursively go down and mark everything as we already counted this island. And then I can go through and I only need to count the ones that are new. And I think I just copied and pasted too much code. So this visit function of an ij marks it and then visits the neighbors. So instead of marking it and then visiting the 4 neighbors, I think we can just do it like this. Okay. Hi, Shady3TV, how's it going? All right, what do we think of this? So we have a height. If we have an empty grid, we just return 0. There's nothing to do. And we have a width. And then we go through the whole 2D thing. I don't like this extra C here. And if we find an island, a piece of land that we haven't visited yet, so if that piece of land is equal to 1, then we increase the count and now we visit ij on this grid. And anything we visit, we mark as already visited. And then we visit left, right, top, bottom. And if we are out of bounds, we don't do anything. Okay, should I run this? Oh no. What is wrong with function ij_grid? Oh, maybe you're not allowed to write before the comment? Did I misspell function? Not quite sure I see what's wrong with function. Oh, okay. Sorry, never mind. I should have looked at this arrow right away. I can expand it. Didn't notice that. Oh, no, I don't have any space left. All right, so maximum call stack size exceeded. Okay. Yes, because what are we doing here? So we are visiting everything, and that's not okay. I'm like marking everything as a plus. I don't want to do that. There's a check missing whether something is equal to 1. So if you find a 1, then you mark it and visit it. And so that's what's missing here. So now we're visiting the next one. And if grid is not equal to 1, then we can return right away, right? Because it's either already visited or it's water. And in both cases, we don't want to venture out from there. Yes, okay. So for this first input, output is 1, expected is 1. All right, let's submit that. Okay. A few seconds ago, runtime error. Oh, this is weird that gives us an error. Because this is exactly the input from the test case where everything ran fine. So I wonder if it has to do with the global variables or something. Let's move stuff around. Okay, yeah. So this is that's one of the problems with these sites. Sometimes they're a little iffy about where you have to put stuff. But that one got accepted. Cool. And one thing you can see here, I thought you could see here, is how fast you are. Details, yeah. So I think we're doing pretty well here with our answer. We're in the faster than 90% of all the other test cases. All right, so yeah, that was a good problem for recursion. And I wonder if should we try to solve this without recursion and use a queue instead, or should we do a different problem? I think the colors here mean whether they're medium or hard. It's so fast. Oh, okay, yeah, that one only works if you pay for it. Let's see the other ones. They do have a ton of questions though, where you don't have to pay for them. Wait, where are the suggested ones? Any favorite ones here that we should take? High energy, good evening, or rather good morning, afternoon over here. Okay, what's this one? It sounds like it's the same problem. Oh, browser, don't let me down. Nope, it's also a paid one. Well, that's annoying. All right, let's go from here. Because here you can see some of them have a little lock symbol. That means you can't use them unless you subscribe, but most of them don't have that. Okay, what should we sort by? Does have really low acceptance. What do I like to do? Should we try? I don't know. I kind of assumed it would take me way longer to solve this, so I didn't prepare any other problems that I want to solve next. And I'm like, whoa, what should I do? Okay, so since it's Saturday, I'm just gonna go with easy here and pick the first one, unless you have any suggestions for me. All right, next problem. Do this in JavaScript, great. Okay. You're given strings J representing the types of stones that are jewels. Oh yeah, I've heard of Project Euler. I haven't done it directly. I know that HackerRank also has a lot of those problems. Does it also come with, can I submit them right here, or do I have to run them locally and make my own test cases? Okay. No, I don't want to think that much on a Saturday. Maybe next Saturday. Yeah, you have to run them locally, so you also need the test cases. Okay, no, I think I'm gonna be lazy and do this one because it has the unit tests built in for me. Okay, so you're given strings J representing the types of stones that are jewels. Okay, so we are given everything that's a jewel, and then I also have some stones. And every character represents the type of the stone, and I want to know how many of those that I have are also jewels. Everything is J distinct, and everything are leathers, and they're case sensitive. Okay, and I want to print out the number of jewels that I have. All right, so I'm given a J and an S. And now I want to figure out which ones are jewels. So I think for const stone of S. Okay, Codewars is another one. Okay. Oh yeah, maybe we should try that. I don't think I've ever tried out that website. Okay, but so for every stone, I want to say const, nope, it's not const. I'm starting out with 0 stones, and that's what I want to return. So for every stone, if j dot index of stone, if it has that, I'm increasing result. So I'm going through every stone and I'm checking the jewels, whether they contain that stone. Okay, let's see. All right, that looks good. But that is really slow because every time I do an index of, so here I'm doing length of j times length of s is my complexity. And I think we can make that a little faster. Yep, we are pretty slow here, but at least we are correct. So let's try to make this faster. So instead of doing this search here, let s equals new set, and then for const jewel of j, s dot add jewel. And then here, instead of working with the linear array, if my set that has that stone, then I want to increase the result. Okay, and that just makes everything slower. Never mind. But if the input is large enough, this should actually be really fast. So why is this slower? What did they do in Python? Can't read that. Yeah, so they take a map. And then they put every character in the map. That's kind of what we did, except we had a set, and then that's really weird that the set is this slow. That's kind of surprising to me. We could do something else. We could say it's just a regular object, and then we say s of jewel is equal to 1. And then here we can say if s of jewel is equal to 1, result 1 plus. Maybe that's faster. Stone. Let's see. All right, yeah, so, okay, good. So our first solution took 80 milliseconds. And then we tried with a set, which was slower. So I guess the set implementation for small inputs isn't very efficient. And when we're using an object, so our lookups here are constant. So the complexity for this is we're going through all the jewels linearly. So it's O of length of jewels, and then we go through all the stones, and we have a constant time lookup, so it's also linear in the length of s. So we would get O of j plus s if j and s are the length of j and s. Cool. Okay, so let's see. Codewars. To join, you must first prove your skills. All right, let's pretend we have some skill. Try to figure out why multiply AB doesn't quite work. We don't return this. Okay. That's a lot of test cases for that small function. Is that really loading? No, it looks like a loading bar here. So, are you working on any interview problems right now? Are you planning to interview soon? Any favorite interview problems? Oh, security key, security key. All right, so next challenge, train. Oh no, trolls are attacking your comment section. No, never mind. Okay. If real programs had that many test cases, the world would be well tested. Well, a lot of real-world programs have a lot of test cases, but they fail to test for the things that you don't anticipate. Chrome is doing some neat testing. Chrome has a fuzzer. So you don't have to write all your test cases. The fuzzer is making test cases for you and just running them. So you find bugs for which you never even wrote test cases. But of course, that's a lot of infrastructure to set up. And that only works if you have a well-defined problem. So V8, the JavaScript compiler, is somewhat simple to create a fuzzer because you have a defined syntax for JavaScript. So the fuzzer just tries any valid JavaScript and see where V8 crashes. That's much harder for front end, for example. Okay. Hi, Sean Peoples. Good morning. So I wasn't super well prepared. Well, I was prepared, but the problem I was doing only took 15 minutes. So I'm just randomly picking problems and solving them. And Kaisi has suggested the Codewars website, so I just signed up for that, and we're trying to solve this first random problem that came up. It doesn't have Node 10 even. Okay. I think next time I do one big problem again outside of these websites, so I can pick Node 10 and use some modern ES next features. Okay, return the number of vowels in the given string. Okay, and we have these 5 vowels. Thanks for the follow, Kurayo. All right, thanks for joining. Hi, Dump Handle, good seeing you again. Oh, hi, Finna. Oh my gosh, you're way too quick for me. You're just ruining the problem. I'm just reading the input. All right, so we get a string and we're supposed to do a vowel count. Now, what I would naively would have done is for const character of the string, and then I would have put 5 if statements here. But let's not do, let's not do 5 if statements. Okay, so Finn, is Finn the right name to say for you, or should I say Finner or something else? Hi, Lemming. Okay, go regex. All right, let's do a regex. So I want to say char.match if the character is matching this regex, then I want to, okay, honestly I'm a little bit miserable typing here because there is 0 formatting or code completion. Okay, and what do we need to match? We need to match A or E or I or O or U. Does that look right? Okay, I have passed all of the tests. Oh, I'm supposed to click attempt first for one test. Okay, where's the submit button? All right, I know. Oh, okay, cool, Finn's fine, thank you. Okay, and you're saying instead of going through the whole string, I can do a string that match. And I'm matching globally, like I want all of them, A-A-I-O-U. And what does that even look like? Okay, so string is equal to this, and now we're doing string that match all of those globally. Oh, and we get an array of all the solutions, so if we just take dot length, then we have it. Okay. Run, what's the difference between attempt and run sample tests? Oh yeah, test your solution using the example tests. An attempt is doing, runs your solution against the full test suite. Okay, so I first want the left button, works, all the test cases, ooh, bummer. Should return 0, okay. So we want to return this or empty string the length, right? Yep, cool. All right, so where are these other solutions that I can see? Okay, do I need to submit this now? What's the deal here? Oh, unlock solution. Oh, submit final. Okay. Gotcha. Well, I think Finn already gave us the most clever solution here. Like, I think this is pretty sweet. Okay, submitting. I think we're very satisfied, right? Okay. Oh yeah, that's the one we got. Oh, you know what? We completely forgot about uppercase letters, but I guess we only had lowercase letters. And I was using the empty string instead of an empty array, because it really doesn't matter, but the match is returning an array, so this is a little bit cleaner. So can I get the clever? What's clever? It's hard to tell if the site is just slow. Oh yeah, there's a status bar here. Oh, hey Robin, how's it going? Okay. All right, so it looks like clever is the same as best practice, which is very nice. They're splitting, and then they're filtering for a function. They're filtering if roles includes the leather. And then they take the length of this. I'm good. I already did some housework this morning, Ransome Boundary. The problem that I had prepared for today, that I was done in 15 minutes, so now we're just looking at different websites, doing random problems. And I really like that you can sort here by clever and best practices. What I don't like is that while you type the problem, you have 0 editor support, and that just kind of annoys me. So I think I won't stick with this side. But somebody here suggested doing Project Euler starting with the first ones, which I guess are the easier ones. So how do I sign in? Oh, I need to do something here. Okay. Can I type my password while everybody's watching? I guess you can't really tell from the number of keystrokes, right? Let's hope that's true. And then confirmation code 99642. Yes, I've read the whole policy. I'm at 6KYU. What does that mean? That's your handle there? Oh, okay, I could have just used the archive. All right, let's do that. And then they already sorted. Okay. Ooh, should we do FizzBuzz? No, let's not do FizzBuzz. Let's do Fibonacci. Yes, reverse engineer the sounds of clicks on my keyboards, because all my letters sound different, obviously, right? So you're saying if you hack it, you solve the Project Euler problems for me? That would be a terrible hack. Okay. Yeah, so I wanted to solve the island here, I had this prepared, but then we stayed the other one. I need to turn on auto wrap. Fib. All right. So each term in the fib sequence is generated by adding the previous two terms by starting with 1 and 2. The first 10 terms will be. Okay, by considering the terms in the fib sequence whose values do not exceed 4 million, find the sum of the even valued terms. All right, so const fib is a function. Well, it's a function, and we want Fibonacci numbers, only the even ones, and sum them up. Ooh, I know, this looks like it's great for generators, right? Because we did generators the last time. So let's do function fib. This is the fib sum function fib, and fib should take nothing, I guess. Yield 1, yield 2, yield. How do I do this recursively now? I'm stuck. Yield fib plus bif fib. Does that make sense? We're returning 1, we're returning 2, and then we're returning the last 2 that we did. Maybe. Let's try this out. For let I equal 0, I less than 10, I plus plus, console.log fib. Oh good, I can use editor commands again. Oh, what is this yield magic? Well, you missed last week's stream. All right. So yield and generators are very similar to async functions. And when you yield something, that's the number returned. But the difference to a return is that the next time we call fib, it starts where it left off the first time. So when you call it the first time, it will return 1. And then the next time you call it, instead of starting at the beginning and returning 1 again, it starts after that first yield, so it will return 2. And then when you call it another time, it will start where it ended up the last time, so after this yield 2, and it will go straight to return fib plus fib. So we returned 1, 2. I don't think this is going to work. Let's see. Yeah, this didn't print anything. Oh, of course this didn't print anything. Fib sum. object generator. So fib dot next at value, fib dot value. All right, they always won. Well, that's a bummer. Let generator equals fib, and then here we do gen.next, right? It's been a week since I did that. All right, so we get 1, 2, and then we get something weird here. I do not like that. All right, so the first 2 times work well. We get 1 and 2. Now the next time, we want to call fib again. How did we do that the last time? That was in substrings. Oh, did I delete all the generator business? No, here's a generator. Oh, that's a good point. Thank you, Finn. Yeah, so fib will just give me the generator, so maybe we have to, but how did we do that in here? Here we called, yeah, but that's why I'm yield star the thing, and I'm just yield starring. So what's going on here? I wonder if it's because we have 2 of them. What if we always double the number? Okay, that doesn't work. Hi, Eva Vectors29, how's it going? Oh, I was so excited to use generators here, and now I'm stuck. Pretty good. All right, let's figure out this generator business. So we want to return the sum of these 2 values. So first time return 1, then we return 2. And now we want to return the sum of this function. But so when I'm calling fib again, we already yielded 1 and 2. So that's not going to help me. How do I get this? Give me the last number. Anybody have an idea how to do generators with Fibonacci? Well, let's write it recursively and then figure out what to do. So when you do it recursively, you have to give it a number, like the how manyest Fibonacci number you want, right? And if you want the first or the second one, you're returning first to second, and otherwise you're returning fib of n minus 1 plus fib of n minus 2. So here we want console log fib of I. And it's always 1. That's not good. Fib of I, not 1. All right, yep, those are the right Fibonacci numbers. Okay, so that's how I would do it recursively. But I think I can do this with a generator, and instead of passing in the how manyest I want it to always give me the next one. So turn this into a generator and don't pass in a parameter. And we do have to return 1 and 2. And now we want to say last equals 1, current equals 2, and then we want to call last plus current. Where, oh, how do I update this without a temp variable? So current is last plus current, and last is current minus last. Is that right? So I'm summing them up. So I have the bigger one. Now if I subtract last, I get the previous current. Okay. And then I need to yield current. And I guess I'm doing this in a while loop. How does that look? So we're yielding 1 and 2. And then we update current and we're yielding current. In this case, current would be 3. And so here I'm going up to 10. Let gen equal initialize fib. And then here we can do generated that next stat value. All right, cool. So we can do this with generators. Somehow I thought I could make this prettier. I don't really feel like this is a very pretty fib function. Does anybody see another way how to do this with generators? Okay. All right, so here we're getting all these values. So we want to, instead of printing the first 10 ones, we want to say while the sum is less than 4 million or something like that. How was it phrased? Oh, did I lose the rest of the question here? No, just a dot. By considering the terms in the fib sequence whose values do not exceed 4 million, find the sum of the even valued terms. By considering the terms in the sequence whose values do not exceed 4 million. Oh, the terms must be less than 4 million. Okay, so not the sum, but the terms. So while gen.next stat value does not exceed 4 mil, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 million. No, we don't want to log them. let current equal this while current is less than that. Then we need to update if current modulo 2 is even, so if that is equal to 0, sum plus equal current. Okay, Fibonacci numbers, what's the deal here? We have an even number, and the next one is odd. Okay, so we always have 2 odd numbers and 1 even number. Is that right? 2 odd ones, 1 even number. 2 odd ones, 1 even number. Okay, so instead of doing this, we could just always yield every third number. But I guess this will also work. But then we could think about simplifying it to always yield the third number. Now, if I run this, do I have a test case to check against? Or is it just a problem? That's kind of a bummer. Do I get test cases if I log in? Oh, okay, so I can put in the answer. That is good. Alrighty, let's run this. That didn't really do anything. Fib sum plus equals console log sum. All right, should we try this number? That was also surprisingly fast. So while current is less than or equal 4,000. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean whether it has test cases. I meant whether there's a way to enter that one result. The terms whose values do not exceed 4 million. So not exceeding means up to and equal 4 million. Find the sum of the even valued terms. I think that's what I was doing. So let's try this. 27026. I'm scared. Okay. All right. Yep. Yeah, that one works. Thanks for checking, Case. Case tier? How do you pronounce your name? If you can like spell it out phonetically. All right. So, but we were, oh, just Kai. Yeah, that's much easier. All right. Thank you. Should we try to simplify this? I do like the generator part here, because then here I can just say while that value is less than something and always get the next one. And also, if you paid attention, my non-generator fib function had exponential complexity, which doesn't work. Oh, Kai ist hier? Yeah, now that I look at it in a German way, I guess it could be German. Okay, now I'll just go with your first name then. Yeah, so by using a generator, I don't have to worry about memorizing the function because it's already happening in the generator, so I have nice linear complexity here. I'm wondering though, since we know that we always want the third value. Hi Andrea, thanks for the follow. Since we know that we always want a third value, because here if you look at it, it's 2, 8, 34, and obviously if the previous one was odd and you do odd plus even, then you still get something odd, and then you do even plus odd, so you get something odd, and only then you do odd plus odd. So we will always have this pattern of every third one. So Anarchy and Kai, do you know each other? So weird, 2 languages. Are you both in Berlin? Hi Berlin, good evening. What's the weather like? We're like back to 0 degrees here. I think Berlin was pretty cold too recently, right? Oh, and also didn't recognize that sentence until here. Oh my god. Okay, never mind. I'm an idiot. All right. You know, you should use like a camel case or something in your username. But then Kai Istia also sounds pretty good. Yeah, I know where Köln is. All right. Hi to Cologne and Berlin. So I was getting sidetracked. I was saying I just want every third number instead of every number so that I can skip this one here. So I want to say let count equal 0, and then if count modulo 3 is equal to 0, then we sum up this. And I need to look here. For the first one, it's 1, so I don't want it, and I want the second one. So if I start with -2, so for the first one, no, if I start with -1 with the first one, it will be -1, and then if I get to the second one, it will, of course I have to do this, but with the next one, let's see if that works. Yep, okay. Oh, I didn't realize that you're in Belgium. Yeah, let's not start any wars. Any good Belgian beers you can recommend, Robin? Quokka? What is that? Oh, is that another coding website? Oh, it's an extension. What does it do? It'll do like a quack, quack, quack. La Chauffe. Never heard of. Nope. Oh, koalas, maybe? Oh, those ones, okay. And there's an extension for VS Code. Sorry, Robin, your link got deleted. Let me add it. I know. Oh, hi, client friend. How's it going? Sorry, Robin. Okay. All right, so what I'm trying to do is that I just want to sum up all of them instead of every third one. So I want this yield function to only give me the even ones. And can I get those without the previous ones? Like, do I somehow know what that one is? Or can I compute all of them? So first one I'm yielding 2. And then last one is 1, current one is 2, and then while true, I want to say current, so I do 1, 2, 3. Will that do it? Nope, count is not defined. Oh yeah, that'll do it too. Okay, yeah, so we could tell this fib function here to not return every Fibonacci number, but only every third one. So this is kind of ugly, but I think I have to do it step by step. Oh, Matthias uses them a lot? Okay, I need to watch some of his more recent videos. Okay, how do I get extensions? Oh, it's by Wallaby.js, of course. What's a live scratchpad? I don't understand. Oh, so it's kind of, what is it? Is it a debugger? Or is it like static analysis? I'm not a fan of how they're not explaining what it is. Okay, so it runs your code immediately and displays various executions. Cool. Yeah, I see how that is very helpful for inline functions because you can't really debug them if you like chain a bunch of filter and maps and so on, and it's all one-liners. You can't add any debugging. All right. So we did fuzz, we did Fibonacci. How do we get to the next problem? Some square difference, maybe? The sum of squares of the first 10 natural numbers is this. The square of the sum is this, yeah, because they're not the same. Hence the difference between sum of the squares. Okay. Oh yeah, you're a moderator now so that you can run all the links. All right. Let me catch up on chat. Basically runs your code and shows console log output and stuff. I wonder if it will slow down certain things. Yeah, so it's kind of like a debugger. Instead of saving your file and you're running node fib, it will keep evaluating. Yeah, so if you have a video, you don't have to jump out of it. You can also watch for file changes and rerun. I mean, I do autosave all the time, so I feel it's kind of simple to just switch over to the terminal, but maybe it's not. Maybe it would be cool to have it right there. Let's try it. Stalling, reload. Node1, yeah, that's also a good one. All right, so do I need to like turn it on or anything? How do I see anything now? Do I need to type? Yeah, poor CPU. But it's winter, it needs to stay warm, so it's good if it does some work. So Node1 supposedly, not Node1, Quokka is on now, but why does nothing change? Like, where should I see anything? I don't get it. No. Well, let's leave it on and try the next problem, which was sum square difference for the first 100 natural numbers. Yes, we're doing, all right, command key. Nope, no results. Let me save this. Some square diff.js. And okay, so you're now saying command Q doesn't find any Quokka. And it is enabled, but I don't see these thingies when I have it. All right. Oh, there it is. Quokka. Does it only work in TypeScript? I thought it also works in pure JavaScript. New TypeScript file? No, I don't think that's what I want to do. Is it? Oh, okay, now it does it. Yield 1, yield 2, let current equals 2, let last equals 1. I don't want this. And then while true, current equals last plus current, last equals current minus last, yield current, let generator equals fib, and then gen dot next. Looks like it can't handle that, like it doesn't show me that value. Oh, I typed quad instead of Quokka. Sorry. Oh, all right, I'm an idiot, never mind. Okay, so if we do a new, okay, so you're saying I have to wrap this into a console.log? Oh, and then it's showing me this. Okay, so, oh, that is pretty neat, I have to say, except I don't know how to type. This is better, okay. All right, so is this always on? Why is it complaining about fib? So if I do anything here, let x equals 5, console.log x plus 7. Okay, how do I turn it on if I don't want a new file? Oh, run on save for current file. That's what I want, right? Oh, I don't want to switch. Do I want to switch to Pro? I don't think I want to switch to Pro. All right, I think I will just turn it off for now and keep using the console and maybe play around with it a little bit offline. So we're supposed to do the sum of squares, and they want difference between the sum of squares and the square of the sum for the first 100 numbers. Okay. All right, so sum of the squares, so for let I equal 0, I less than for the first 100 natural numbers, I guess 0 is not a natural number, right? Yeah, they're starting at 1, so less than or equal to 100. Yeah. Sorry, Sublime users. The sum of the squares, you want to do sum of squares plus equals I multiplied by I, and then let square of sums. Now I can do this in one for loop, square of sums plus equals I, and then square of sums multiplied by itself. And then, oh, which one's bigger? The square of the sums should be bigger. So square of sums minus sum of squares. We're not in a function, we're just logging this. Node sum of squares. Zero not natural. Cries in discrete structures lecture. All right. Yeah, sorry. I guess. Do natural numbers start at 1? I don't even know anymore. Yeah, because otherwise you have n star, right? Which includes 0 as well. All right. Cool. What's an unexpected coda 7 hours? That did not take us 7 hours. Oh, is that when they last submitted it? Guess so. Yeah. But I think Project Euler is more math focused, right? They're not so much on data structures and algorithms. They're more about math problems, like, oh, can we use our yield here? Yep, the first 12 ones. What's the index of the first term in the fib sequence to contain 1000 digits? Yeah. Okay. All right. Like this one here, can we solve this in JavaScript? I guess because we can always use big integers, but getting to a number that contains 1000 digits, that's a big number. I don't know if we can solve this brute force. So the 12th term is the first one containing 3 digits. 1000 digits is long. Yeah, those are too mathy. They're not really what we're looking for in an interview. Oh, were you asking about TypeScript in general or TypeScript with the cute little Quokkas? So we use TypeScript for a bunch of the client libraries, and it's super useful because instead of looking up everything in the documentation, you have type hinting by the IDE if you use the client library. So if you're just a user of the library, it makes it much easier. You're like, oh, that's what the function is called, and that's the order of the parameters. And it makes refactoring easier, makes it easier to spot bots. But if you're just trying to prototype something, or if you just want to hack in a small change, I can find it quite annoying, especially if you have very strict TS-lint rules. Okay. All right, so for next week, I'll make sure I have a problem that takes a little longer than 15 minutes to solve. Also, again, if you have suggestions, send them my way. Maybe it's a good problem for the stream. Oh, okay. Kai is saying I can solve it in JavaScript without runtime issues, but I have to use bigint. Yeah, I was thinking of bigint, otherwise it wouldn't fit. Well, should we solve it? Should we do one more? Kai, this is on you. If like the brute force approach doesn't work for this, then we're messed up. All right. So let's try this. What's this called? N-digit fib number. So oh, cool, you moved it to TypeScript. Very cool. All right, so we have a function n-digit fib number, and it takes the number of digits. And let fib is equal, so we need our generator function again, which I closed. So Fib.js. Let's copy and paste it over. Oh, we just want this one time. Let generator equals fib. Let current equals dot next dot value. Oh yeah, we have to yield 1, but we want big integers. So we have to do big integers everywhere. If we're adding big integers, we get big integers. Okay. Okay, so you say just a few milliseconds. All right, let's try that. How do I find the number of digits in there? Do I just JavaScript begin number of digits? I guess that's not a function. I have to check if it's bigger than something. So I have big int. Yeah, I think the split to a string might work. All right. So I do want Quokka now. Let's reload Quokka. And how do I turn on Quokka for just this file? Oh, is it still off? Quokka, enable, reload. Do I like always need to start a new file? Well, we tried to start on current file. Oh no, we did this on every save. Okay, start on current file. So if I do console.log of current, nope, it's not on. Identify directly after number. What's that even supposed to mean? Oh, I think it doesn't understand big integers. But 1015 would know that, right? Yeah, but it says no 1015. And so here if I do like 1015 knows big int. Very confused why it can't handle this. What if we do big int of 1? Okay, so you're saying plus equals last and last current minus last is invalid syntax. Tell me where. Okay. All right, so weird. So it understands big int, just not the short notation. But since we don't have to write it all the time, I think that is fine. So why don't I see that now? Shouldn't it tell me what current is? I thought we got this to work before. So start on current file is the right thing to do, right? Like, seems to be okay with it. Anybody else using Quokka and knows what's going on and why I don't see anything? Oh, maybe because I'm never running this function. Could that be? Okay. And this is completely useless. Sorry, Quokka. Also, it seems to be kind of, oh, because I have to do. So I get 1, 2. Okay, it is enabled, but it just says big int. Can I do like a big int that value or something like that? A that to string. Okay. Dot value dot to string. Okay, so that works. Cool. Okay, so we can get the Fibonacci numbers, and oh, and if I do toString, I can even see the length of it. So while true, I can also tell that it's a tiny little bit slow. Like it still says true is not defined, but I clearly know how to spell true. Okay. If current length is bigger than 3, console log current. Hey Quokka, please update. Okay, could I see this value? Now it seems to be off again. I need to watch fun functions videos to see how he uses it as successful. Because I don't get the little squares anymore. Maybe it's just slow. Let's give it some time. So what I would like to see was number 104, I believe. If we look at this one, 144 should be the first one where we have more than, no, if we have more than 2, that's what I want to see here. Sorry, and I forgot to break. So here we could say while current length is, no, I'll leave it the way I had it. So I run this, and then if, actually I want to see those. Okay. And I need to update this. All right, so current at length doesn't seem to quite work. Current is a string and length is the hardest word to spell. Okay, yeah, so this will stop at 144. So now we don't want it to be bigger than 2. We want it, oh, okay, now it works again. So for 3, 4, gee, that's gonna be such a big number. So once the length is bigger than this, oh, that's really neat though. It is right here and I don't need to run it. Anybody know why this didn't work before? Is it just a little slow? Okay, so client friend is saying, does the length need to be 1 off because of the n suffix? So I'm not printing the, I'm not using the big int directly, I'm using big int to string, and the to string gets rid of the n again. Oh yeah, you can't see anymore, but so those get printed without the n, so the length is exactly what we want. But I'm 1 off because I'm stopping the first time that I'm bigger than 999. So I'm stopping as soon as I reach 1000. I don't think this answer is gonna fit. Oops. Have I copied and pasted? Copy. Okay, maybe copying doesn't quite work in here. So let's run it. I'm really surprised that this is so fast. Aren't we running this like a lot of times? Okay. Oh, this code is hard to read. 56346. Did I get this right? 56346. Nope. So what did we do wrong? Oh, thank you. It's not asking for the number that is 1000 digits long, but it is asking for the Fibonacci term n. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, so here it wants 12 and not 144. All right, let's fix this. So let I equals 1. This is the first one, and when we're increasing I, we also need to, when we get the next one, that's when we need to do I. And so here we don't want to log current, we want to log I. That looks a lot simpler. And I can copy and paste that, that's a pain. I copy and paste this, yeah, that works. And then the answer code is 10354. I++ doesn't change I. I'm pretty sure I++ changes I. Pretty sure I changed that. Yeah, I know it's Saturday, but I++ changes I. Okay, but not quite correct. All right. So when is this bigger than 2? Okay, I'm off by 1. Why am I off by 1? I don't understand. I is equal to 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. How is this 12 over here? Oh, because they start with 1, 1. All right, we can fix that. So if it's 1, 1, 1, 2, where did the 3 go? Here. All right, let's fix that. It's kind of double in there, so I want to yield last current. Okay, now we get the 12. So now if we do 999. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Finn. And yes, I was off by 1, figured that out. I don't want to print that anymore. I just want this number. Hi, Coachy QQ. Yes, generators, and they work. I just found out about them. Well, I knew about them, but I didn't realize how good they can be for recursive functions. So you can easily use generators for recursive stuff, and then down here just always work. Oh, we should rewrite that to be a little nicer. Yeah, but yes. Okay, let me rewrite that as soon as this is right. Yes, I'm just off by 1. 6, 6, 6, 4, 8. Check. No! Why is that not correct? Well, at least yours is correct. Mine doesn't work. What is the index of the first term in the fib sequence to contain 1,000 digits? Why did this not work? What did I do wrong here? So, first one with 3 has index 12. I wasn't off by 1, but by 3. How could I possibly be off by 3? If it works for 12. Yeah, Kai, I'm confused too. So, let's see the fib sequence. It's 1, 1, 2, 3. That looks perfectly fine, right? Let's write it like this. If the length is 3, then this is 12. If the length is 1,000, 4782. Isn't that the number that I put in? 4782. Yeah, that's the number I put in, and apparently that was still wrong. You're getting 2 different answers, okay. All right, I'm pretty sure, yeah, 4782. F12. Am I supposed to write F4782? No, what's the index? So if I do 2, first one that has 2 digits is 7. That also works. And you're saying maybe I copied and pasted this wrong? 4782. 4782. There's nothing on the left here, it's just 4782, nothing on the right. Did I mess up the code? And it wants 1,000 digits. Like, we all have the same problem, right? No. I just reloaded the page. Maybe that makes a difference. So 47. Oh, you know what? these are like weird numbers that it copied, because if I type it, go away. If I do 4, it doesn't like give me that pull down. Am I making sense? So maybe copying and pasting from Quokka. Yes, okay. So I think what's happening is, oh, where's the Quokka output? How do I get that Quokka output again? Run once? No. Yeah, I was copying this number and somehow that was not regular numbers. Oh yeah, I still have it saved, I think. No, I don't know what I'm doing, but somehow the input was kind of, I think it was a weird thing because the dropdown didn't work when I typed in a 4. All right. Oh, and I guess we're only calculating 4,000 fib numbers, and we're doing that in a linear fashion. That's why it's so fast. What I don't like is how we're using the generator here. So I think I want to say for const f of fib, and we don't need this, for const current of fib, and then if current at length is 1,000, then we break out of the for loop. I think this is a little bit nicer. So this is basically our while true, except that we're always getting a current number, and then if we are long enough, we're printing this. Yeah, I think it's something weird like that. Uh-oh, did I mess it up? This is taking too long. Yep, I messed it up because current is the value and I need to do current.toString.length. Nope. Current.toString. Come on, show me what it is. Oh, I never increase I, thank you. Maybe that's already doing it. Yep, okay. Thank you, that was a really good hint. Okay, yeah, so our code looks super nice. We just take the current one of Fibonacci, const, should we call it n, f? Why do we even have this n here? Oh, for the length equal to this. So let's just say for every number in the Fibonacci series, take the toString because we're using big integer. This is something we have to do since they get so long, and if those have 1,000 digits, then we log it. We see the number right here, and we keep increasing this I. Yeah, thank you, Drunk Punk. That was helpful. I was refactoring too quickly and forgot to move the I around. And this is the generator function, which kind of works like an asynchronous function, like it returns here and then later picks up where it left off the last time. So the first time it returns the last value, the second time you call it, it won't run these 3 lines, it will start right here. So it will return big end of 1. And then every time you run it, it will yield the current in this while loop and then always take off, start with left off the last time. So really nice for these iterative kind of things where you then want to do something with the result, and you can just use a for loop like with anything that's iterable, and you get them number by number by number. Okay. Somebody is saying current at value. No, I don't need the value, because when you use it in an iterator like this, you're already only getting the value. We had to get value before because we weren't using a for loop. Is current now the iterator or the iterator result? It is the value of the iterator. Okay, and Kai is saying check out problem 19. Guess we could do that. Archive. So you're working on those right now? Counting Sundays. Oh no. Okay, let's do this, but then that's enough for today. How many Sundays fell on the first day of the month during the last 100 years? Yeah, Anarchy, I think they can be useful. One big drawback they have is they're hard to debug, because as soon as you yield a generator in the debugger, you're messing up the function for the main program. So if we were yielding fib in the debugger, then we would be starting off one too late. But they make things like this look really nice and very readable. Yeah, honestly, I've never come across them in the wild, but they are good for these kind of coding questions. Oh, okay, so you did them after Advent of Code. They're a lot more mathy though than Advent of Code, right? So this is Sundays.js. Quokka. Start on current file. All right. So January 1. February has 28 days except on leap years. A leap year occurs on any year evenly divisible by 4, but not on a century unless it is divisible by 400. So the century here would be 2000, but 2000 is divisible by 400. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, doing math can be fun. The very heavy math part is usually not part of the Google interviews, though. Those are more focused on data structures and algorithms, but it is fun to do some math. Yeah, a leap year occurs on anything divisible by 4, so we would start at 1904. 2000 is divisible by 4, but it's a century, but it's also divisible by 400, so we can just leave out this last part here because of the time span that we're looking at. How many Sundays fell on the first of the month during the 20th century? Okay, so const Sundays is a function. Now, how do we want to do this? Yeah, when reading that, you know it was written by a mathematician. So we need to know this. And then a year has 365 days, right? And a leap year has 366. Oh, that's a neat idea. So Finn is saying you could just call new date get day for each month of the year for these 99 years, and then I guess check if there are, what are we checking for, Sundays? Yeah, and since we have Quokka installed, we can try this really easily. Can I copy and paste here? Yep. Okay, what does gray mean? That it's like working on it? Oh, get day is equal to 0, and then the next one should be 2. Yeah, and 0 means it's a Monday. So what day is today? It's 2019, and it's February, and it is 26. So if we do tomorrow, it should give us a 7. No? Am I doing this wrong? What is this? Why is 26 a 1? Maybe get day is not quite the right thing. Oh, it's still January. Never mind. Yeah, so Sundays should equal to a 6. I like that solution. And yes, somebody totally said I have to run Sundays and then I will see it's a 0. Okay, so for let I equal 1901, I less than 2000.